Gerald, you're homeless in Los Angeles. Tell me about it.
Basically, I should have said, it educates you. It gives you a callus on your soul. You really have to taste of it because some things aren't in the dictionary to explain. There's no age limit, no qualification, no certification. One day you may think you are between the have and the have-nots, and then kaput, you find out that you're not even a good category for the have or the have-nots. You're down to the bare essence, the butt nakedism of having to accept that you're at the, when you're at your best, you're at your worst. And when you have nothing at all, you're kind of like, how should I say it, have faith will travel and faith make a way. And I should have said from 1980 when I first came here to the city, times have changed since that time to 80 to 89. And I went to Northern California for 30 years, got married for 24, had a child at 40, 42, 46. Being divorced the last 6, restarting to begin again. Went to Vegas, went back to Northern California, and then came here 2016 to see how the city had changed and where I might be able to begin to laugh, grow, learn, grow, and relinquish and let go. Well, sometimes it's easy to fall down and to get up, but you still have to begin to go somewhere as a human being. Well, as a human being in the human race, where it's not so much that you prefer to, how should I say it, be at the pitiful worst of who you are to reach still to get the best out. But it's like, it's not a human quest, a human challenge, or a self-challenge. You find yourself walking through a human phase to get to a spiritual phase, and then all of a sudden you say to yourself, once upon a time you lifted life, not weights. Now you lift life of a higher nature, but sometimes you have to step up higher for learning to understand a lower situation. Now I'm lifting light and walking through life. Life gives you little, light gives you a lot, because at least you have a certain serenity. Where, how should I say it, if God wrote the story, if you think you're doing bad, take a walk in life and take a look around.
Yeah.
Because either you're the biggest giant, the littlest midget, and even the littlest midget will tell the greatest giant get a life.
So, man, you said you've been out here 6 years.
Yes.
That's far too long. And then you said you're getting close to 60?
Yes, my next birthday, 6/6.
Oh my gosh. And it's not easy getting anywhere at 60.
No, you're not the man you used to be. You're not the human being you think you are. And as you're, how should I say it, not going through mental ejaculation or living in the house that Jack built our legend in your mind, or living in the glass menagerie, the falsetto of the masquerade, of the merry-go-round, of the illusion of the nightmare and dream. It's past the point of when they say all God's children have shoes and there shouldn't be anybody on the planet hungry. Well, it's not being dumbfounded or in doubt, but when you're traveling by the writings of, how should I say it, nobody wants to be the one who does not have, not even the have or the have-nots. Nobody wants to tell the truth about pain or about the honesty of whatever they go through.
So, obviously you're a creative because you're great with words.
Well, that's just because pain is something that I'm easy to tell the truth upon and be honest about it.
Wow. So where'd you sleep last night?
Right now I'm on the church here. Yolanda Brown came out with her son and her grandson and said the church has been praying for you. And they had asked me if they took a step, would I make a step? So I went over, they took me to a place over there on Gower in Hollywood. Church program over there, and it was a 2-month program. It's going on the last 5 days of that process. where I've had a chance to, third time being able to walk again from different accidents and being stabbed and different stuff. Well, as I went through this process and healed a little bit and got a little light, and learned to feel a little bit lighter about the situation. Should have said it begins again in the next 5 days.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So you're going to get off the streets through a church program.
Well, I'm going to do all I can, but sometimes you have to understand that once upon a time when I was in the military and carried the American flag, one of the safest places in the world is not so much God's house where we live, but where God's house is represented, where the people are supposed to have.
Amen to that. So obviously you're a veteran.
Yes.
Being a veteran, you shouldn't be out here.
True. They say I'm short a couple of points with honorable discharge, so I have to go through, not through the wayside of the system, but stand firm in the system until they count the points.
Yeah. Points to get out. Anyways, if you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
To still be the person I am and having to walk through hell, heaven, and earth all at the same time, to rise to a certain occasion, to be able to do the bare necessities like a hot bathtub, a bed, and a door, a key, a pot, and a chicken, and be able to reach one, teach one, because you can't, if you haven't been through something, you really can't say something, but if you have been through something, you shout it out in a nice, compassionate manner where you try and reach one, teach one, and touch one to pull one.
Well, I think that was 3 wishes.
Well, I'm not good at counting, but I try and combine it all. I should have said to finish the whole journey.
Yeah.
Not be a legend in my mind and be one of the best human beings that I have ever met to do bigger, better, and brighter things.
Great wishes. Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
You're more than welcome. My pleasure.